Hello everybody, I have a 3v3 Halo Wars game versus Stolen Coitus, Local Dick Muncher, and Saw Ying on Frozen Valley. I'm playing as the Brute Chieftain, and the Arbiter is across from me, so I know that if he comes to get resources on this side, I'm going to be able to ram him with my chopper, which I do right there. And the Brute Chopper does a lot of damage with its rams, so that ghost is just going to have to get out of here and find resources elsewhere unless he wants to die. And since that ghost was such low health, it's probably going to die as it crosses either one of those rebel bases, so he's going to have to be careful with that ghost before he tries to get any more resources with it. And probably try and catch a heal in the middle, but yeah, he's just gonna have to be careful. And a reminder to anybody who's using a ghost and they spawn across from the Brute Chieftain on this map or any map really, just be careful about getting rammed like that, because it can be pretty bad. Don't want to get rammed. Well, basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to get these resources and I'm going to get inheritance, and I'm going to that Brute Chieftain's base because that is where our UNSC player Forges Down is going to send his Warthogs. And that's where Mitch is going to send his Arbiter. I do have a long walk to get there, but that's where I want to go, and you'll see why when I get there. Anyways, I'm going to put these Brute squads in this reactor. Unfortunately, the Brute squads are only going to be in there temporarily, and as you can see where my Brute Chopper just was, you can see the wreckage from Red's ghost where he had lost it trying to get to the heal, so that's unfortunate for him, but it happens. You know, a lot of people like to think that ghosts, losing your scout early on doesn't matter that much, but you know, those resources do add up. That's too bad for him. Yeah, my Brute squads in that reactor are eventually gonna die because they can't shoot back at that turret, unfortunately. There's Black's Brute Chopper scouting me out. Pretty much means that they're coming to me, so I'm gonna go ahead and upgrade my base. Forges Down manages to catch all of these brutes. Those Brute squads went somewhere. Not really sure where, because the Brute Chieftain is not at my base, so I'm not sure where those Brute squads went. Oh, Mitch's base. I can see them down there at Purple's base. So that's where they are. But since he doesn't have Citadel yet, Forges Down and Mitch were discussing Mac blasting the base, and they just decided on doing it. So there goes the Mac blast. The base is almost dead. Mitch is going to throw 3 suicide grunts in it, and I'm going to start vortexing, so yeah, that's pretty much GG base. See you later. He does get Citadel, but it is much too late, so he's going to sell off all of his buildings, get as much money back as he possibly can, but this is Frozen Valley. There's no free open bases, and as long as these Warthogs are over here at my base, they can't clear him out a new base. And what's going on here with this Brute squad? Oh, there they are. They were just flying through the air. Jump pack research, except they didn't actually have jump pack research, so I guess they just got super epic rammed. And as you can see, those Warthogs did leave my base because they are out clearing a base out for their teammate Local Dick Muncher, who happens to be TXX Factor on another account. Which is that's a pretty silly name of him to pick, but well, there you go, just in case you were wondering who that was. But these Warthogs are back at my base, so I'm just gonna have to recall and start vortexing them to get them out of here. I also had to rebuild a Brute squad there because they're gonna die out of my reactor any second now. I still have them right now, but they aren't gonna be around for very long. Local Dick Muncher gets defeated, so GG, dude. I'm sure he is not too happy at how he was defeated. We pretty much just Omega rushed him, and yeah. He can't be too happy about that. So pretty much this Arbiter and this Forge are going to have to get their wits together and really pull off some miracle builds. That Arbiter waited for my units to die out of the reactor, and I'm pretty sure that as I send my brute squads to this reactor now that they're just going to get raged down. But fortunately for me, that Arbiter left and I'm able to get in. So alright, sweet. It could have been pretty bad if he would have gotten his hands on that and gotten ghastly vision or something like that. But it pretty much just looks like he's going to be going single summit Arbiter. And I'm going to try and do some harassment on this base, but there is a tank up here, so we're just going to wait for S-Pro Mitch to show up with his Arbiter and rage down that tank, and then it will be much safer for my Brute Chieftain to go up there and work on this summit. But I'm going to start heading up here now. This warehouse is coming up, so I'm going to start putting some damage on that, I guess. I am just going to start porting in some Banshees to work on that summit as soon as I realize that I'm not going to be able to take out that warehouse and focus my attention to that summit. There we go. No, I don't want to self-destruct my base, but I do want to continue producing Banshees and sending them through my lift so that I can kill his summit faster, because as you can see, he's making vampires from it, and that's annoying. So we're going to want this summit taken out as soon as possible. I'm going to try and vortex that vampire with my unupgraded vortex, but hey, you know, we really don't have any other way of taking that out right now. And that vampire is just going to be a nuisance as it flies around, so I am going to queue up one vampire just to assist in taking that one out, although Forge is down does still have these very useful warthogs. He is still going to have to be careful because, well, there you go, there's the Arbiter, and he is going to rage down most of those warthogs, although one does get away. That pretty much means that pretty soon me and Mitch are going to have to pull off of this base, but we're going to try and create as much havoc as we can before we do. I do have one vampire here, so that's going to help us keep that one vampire away. However, now there are two tanks, and Mitch's Arbiter is here, but so is Red, and it is raging down all of my Banshees, unfortunately. I should position those over the cliff, but it's really already too late since they were caught out in the middle there. So Orange's tanks are pretty much going to push us off of this base sooner or later. Mitch is angry and is raging that blessed warehouse, but did not manage to kill it, unfortunately. He's really just trying to get down at those tanks, and I will finish off that warehouse with my Banshees, hopefully, because my Chieftain is almost dead, and I'm going to have to send him to the middle to go heal. And as you can see, that Arbiter is now at my base. What? Where did he come from? Who invited him? Apparently he was raging either my Banshee or my Vampire or something, and he got glitched over to my base instead of getting cliffed. So yeah, that's pretty annoying. That Arbiter is just now at my base slashing down my warehouses, and my turret isn't even shooting at it. What a piece of junk. So that's quite annoying, but I'm just gonna have to boost my Banshees back here and start shooting at him from the safety of that cliff there, because if he tries to rage him there, well, he will have very bad results with that. I'm gonna go ahead and queue up repeating cannon as long as I'm still in that reactor, which I'm about to get shot out of again.
Local units.
But anyways, I'm gonna open fire on this Arbiter now, and I'm just waiting, seeing if he's gonna recall or try to rage me, and to my surprise, he starts raging me right on this cliff. I mean, yep, that's what happens when you do that. And that was tweaking out, and I'm not sure if he was just giving up there or if he really thought he was going to be able to rage my Banshees there. Because, as you can see, that is what will happen to any Arbiter that tries to do that. So don't do that. Don't do what he did. I'm getting up a shield because they were telling me those tanks were on their way to my base, but it's already too late. My shield is not going to get up in time, and these tanks are at my base. So, I mean, I've got repeating cannon and these 3 Banshees, so I'm going to start fighting back, but the tanks are eventually going to kill all of my Banshees and start killing all of my buildings. Of course, it'd be helpful if I spent my money on Banshees, and we're building some right now, but hey, I did manage to get out another brute squad, so I can still get into that reactor. And my brute chieftain is still healing in the middle, but since Mitch's arbiter is here, everything's pretty much going to be okay now. He's going to rage down all of these tanks. Okay, they just canistered my blessed warehouse instead of Esper Mitch's arbiter, so some pretty rusty canny micro there by Sawing, but yeah, what else can I say? They canistered my blessed warehouse instead of Mitch's arbiter, and Mitch just proceeded to rage them all down. These vampires are still outside of my base, but they aren't really going to do much at all. They're just going to be poking my buildings down a little bit. And my chieftain is going to head on back over to Red's base, because as you can see, Green is having his way with Orange's base right now. So this game is pretty much over. So I thank you for watching, and I thank you for the free true skill. Yes. No, but seriously, this whole video is pretty much just an example of even top players can make pretty bad mistakes sometimes. Their first mistake was not getting Citadel at the beginning, because we were able to epic cheese him out of the game. And then second, TweekTHISout raged off of the cliff. This just reading the string theory of relativity in his bio. Why would you have a name like Local Dick Muncher and then a bio like that? I don't know. But yeah, TweekTHISout raging his arbiter into the cliff. That wasn't too bright. Not sure if they really meant to do that. And then after that, they canistered the warehouse instead of Mitch's arbiter. But whatever, good game. And thanks for watching. Bye bye.